Miami Dolphins hosting the Cleveland Browns. And look what came in today. I got myself some sideline gear. What is up, Finn fans? Yes. It came in today. I look like I'm a Dolphin player. I'm not a Dolphin player. But it came in today. My hoodie came in. If you want to grab yourself this hoodie or any of the things, this hat or anything, like I always say, I have a partnership now with Fanatics. It is the top link in the description. Go over, grab yourself some. Like I said, I got the hoodie there. They have some of the sideline gear, hats, all that stuff. So go over, check it out. So in today's video, we are going to be breaking down the Miami Dolphins taking on the Cleveland Browns. A big game, pivotal game before the Miami Dolphins go on their bye. And this team is starting to get a little healthy. Starting to get a little players back. So this is a huge, huge part of the season for the Miami Dolphins, and this is a huge game. So we're going to do the usual, go over the injury report, going to go down the breakdowns, look at the PFF, 5 things, and I'm going to tell you essentially who I think is going to win the game. But before we jump into that, I do have to shout out a few things. First and foremost, I have to shout out, bam, new patron, and Brian's son, I hope I said your name correctly. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. And on the membership side, Joey Payne. Joey Payne. Again, I said it in the last video. I'm going to start doing live streams specific for you guys. And to all the guys on the Patreon that I haven't gotten to answering your messages, I'm going to do that tonight. I do apologize. Been crazy busy. Haven't been able to get on the Patreon and answer your guys' messages. And to all the people who are waiting to get in the Discord on the Patreon side, I sent you a request. So go check it out. One other thing we got to talk about before we jump into this preview, that is today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. You've seen them. You've seen me talk about them. Prize Picks is your daily fantasy app. Fantastic. I normally would go into a big spiel about it. You know, essentially use the promo code. You can see it's right here. DDW. You get 100% matched on up to $100 of your first deposit. Right? And you're like, Doug, what the flip is Prize Picks? Well, I'm going to physically show you instead of rambling on talking about it. This is Prize Picks. So essentially you see they cover pretty much any sport you could think of, from golf, tennis, MMA. I don't know what LOL is. I'm assuming that's gaming because it has a controller here. Any sport you could probably think of, they cover it. And obviously I'm already clicked on the NFL, and you could see here they cover passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, receptions, field goals made, receptions plus reception, rush plus reception yards, tackle assistance. So much. Oh, they even got cricket and racing down here. So much. But essentially this is how Prize Picks works. You can pick up 2 to 5 players, right? So we'll pick Marcus Mariota. Right, and you can already see it's popping up here. I'm doing it on my computer. You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your iPhone, Android device, whatever. We'll pick Tom Brady, right? Get your quarterbacks in. We'll go to rushing yards. We'll go with Dante Freeman. No, football is a quarterback. We'll go Derrick Henry, right? So that's already 4. We'll throw one more in there. Let's go field goals made. Let's go Koo, right? And essentially you see over here, you put in your entry, so you put in $20, and again, if this is your first time and you use the promo code DDW, you get an extra $20. So you could put $40 in, $20 on the house. And essentially you see here, Marcus Mariota, the projection is 155.5 yards. Do you think he's going to get more or less of that in the game? Tom Brady, it's 275.5. You think he's going to get more or less? Dante Freeman, 53.5 rushing yards. You think more or less? Henry, 97.5, more or less. And do you think Koo is going to make over 1.5 field goals or less? And then you place your entry. You can win up to 10 times your money. So go check it out. You can either go prizepicks.com. It's app.prizepicks.com, or you can download it on your iPhone or Android app. Use the promo code DDW. Like I said, you get 100% of your deposit up to $100 match on your first deposit. Go check them out, Prize Picks. So let's jump into this Mama Jam. We're going to look at the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to say Chicago Bears. That was last week. Cleveland Browns injury report. We'll start with the Cleveland Browns. Theirs is a little bit bigger than ours. That's unfortunate. If you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to be funny. It's not working. Their tackle, Jack Conklin, David Njoku, Jeremiah Owusu-Koroma. I said it good when I wanted the Dolphins to draft him. And their defensive tackle, Perion Winfrey, did not practice today, me being Thursday. So it's going to be very interesting to see if those guys play. Limited for their guard, Michael Dunn, their cornerback, Greg Newsome, their guard, Wyatt Teller, and then full participation for the rest guys and for Martin Emerson Jr. and Denzel Ward. So it seems like Denzel Ward's going to be back for them. Then we look at the Miami Dolphins. You ready for this? It's not that long. It's not that long. You can even do this. You can even do this. I did last time to make us feel better. We can even do this, right? Because he had a rest day. He had a vet rest day, Xavier Howard. It's not that long. It's not that bad. The only person who didn't participate today is Hunter Long because he's in concussion protocol / illness. Other than that, Teron Armstead, limited. Tanner Connor, limited. River Craycraft, limited. Austin Jackson, limited, meaning he played. I fully expect him back after the bye. Durham Smythe, limited. And then Teddy Bridgewater had a knee problem. He was full participant. Raekwon Davis, Zach Sealer, Jalen Waddle, Christian Wilkins, all full participants. Like I said, this team is starting to get healthy and at the very right time when we're going into the bye. Again, this is a very big pivotal game. To get to 7-3 going in the bye and to be able to hopefully get Byron back, hopefully get X at 100%, hopefully get Toronto at 100%, hopefully get all these guys at 100% and come back into the season with top 2 corners back. Tater Kohu is playing good. So let's go into the breakdown. We're going to the breakdown here. Again, the breakdown, I look at the Fins offense to the Browns defense. We look at the rankings, and then I look at their PFF and how they match up. So look at the Fins offense to the Browns defense. When it comes to points, the Dolphins are 10th in the NFL. The Browns defense is 24th. So the Browns defense gives up a lot of points. When it comes to yards, the Dolphins are 5th, and the Browns defense is 15th. So they're about mid when it comes to giving up a lot of yards. The Dolphins passing is 2nd in the NFL. The Browns defense of passing is 15th, and the Dolphins run is 29th, and the Browns run defense is 22nd. I'll go more into these things when I go into my 5 things. Third down conversion rate, the Dolphins dropped to 14 with 41.3%. The Cleveland Browns are sitting at 16 with 39.8% third down conversions. And then when it comes to the red zone, the Dolphins are 6th with 69%. How do you do? And the Cleveland Browns are 21st with 58.6% red zone conversions for touchdowns. So that's big. And then when you flip it, Browns offense is actually doing really well. 7th in points, whereas the Dolphins defense are 25th in points. Yards, the Browns are 4th. Dolphins are 23rd. Passing, the Browns are 16th. The pass defense for the Dolphins are 15th. Rush for the Browns offense is 3rd. The Dolphins dropped drastically when they allowed Justin Fields to have over 100 and something rushing yards to 15th. They were like 6th in rush defense. Now they're 15th. But I still think that they can stop the running backs. I think mobile quarterbacks is where that kind of hurts, so there's a little bit of an asterisk there for me. Converting third downs, the Browns offense is 15th in the NFL with 41.3%. The Dolphins defense is 27th with 44.7%, and the Browns in the red zone are 10th, converting 69.3%, whereas the Dolphins are 29th, allowing 70%. Now we're going to look at the PFF. And here we go. PFF. I'm going to do the offense of the Dolphins versus the Browns defense. Dolphins offense has a little bit of an upper hand over the Browns defense, right? They're, besides Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, they're very suspect in the middle, right? So the Dolphins should be able, especially 22nd in the run, should be able to run the ball. Now, when it comes to their corners, Greg Newsome seems to be the better one out of him and Ward. But again, PFF, you could take it or leave it however you want. our receivers are the best in the NFL. They're 1-5. They're the best in the NFL, and Sherfield is coming up there. They're really good. My biggest worry right here, and I don't talk about him in the my 5 things, but I'm going to talk to him more about him in the prediction right here. Garrett, even Jadeveon Clowney. Now, I think Teron Armstead can take care of Garrett for the most part, and I think Tua can get the ball out quickly to Hill and Waddle to move the ball down the field like we've been doing. But this is my biggest worry here. How is this offensive line going to stack up against Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney? This is my worry here. Now, is he playing Usakorma? We don't know. Grant Delpit, also a very good safety for them. So it's going to be very interesting. And then if we flip it, is where it's interesting. The Dolphin defense has gotten much better, right? Look at Kader Kohu. He's now 21st ranked. Bradley Chubb, Phillips, Wilkins, Ingram, Baker, high numbers, right? This is where my worry is. Now, Keon Crossan isn't going to be covering Amari Cooper. It's going to be Howard. And I'm going to get into that in my 5 things. This is my biggest worry. Him and him, right? Jacoby Brissett, good for you, man. 9th ranked. Good for you. You know, Benito, their offensive line interior is really good. Conklin might not play and Njoku might not play. So you can X these 2 out. Very good on the interior, and that's where a lot of their running comes in. But these 2 guys right here, Hunt, not even Hunt, Bradley Chubb. Why do they have Hunt as their starting? It's not Bradley Chubb, but it's Chubb. It's Nick Chubb is their starting running back, but it's their run game that worries me. And Amari Cooper. Those are the 2 that worry me on the offense. We'll go more into that, but I do think we can stop the run. The Dolphins have shown that, you know, we can stop some of the best running backs in the NFL. So that's not what worries me. It's more the passing that worries me. But again, I'll go more into that when I get into the 5 things that the Dolphins need to do to beat this Cleveland Browns team, because that's what I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to go over the 5 things that the Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this Cleveland Browns team. And the number 1 thing, obviously, I just talked about is stop the run. You have Hunt, you have Chubb, that they are the 3rd ranked in the NFL in rushing. We did face the 1st ranked in the Chicago Bears. Their running backs didn't do anything on us. It was their quarterback that did it. So, you know, Herbert was doing really good, and Montgomery, and then the Dolphins shut them down. So the Dolphins need to stop the run. They need to force Jacoby Brissett to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. So Chubb, Phillips, Ingram, Wilkins, Ogba can all get after Jacoby Brissett, because we've seen what Jacoby Brissett is, because he was our quarterback last year. So it's imperative, 100% imperative, that the Dolphins stop the run. I normally don't say that. I normally say that this list isn't predicated on most important to least important, but right now, stopping the run is the most important thing for the Miami Dolphins to do if they want to beat this Cleveland Browns team. They need to stop the run. We cannot allow Chubb and Hunt to run all over this team and have the Dolphin defense be tired, because what they're going to try to do is keep our offense off the field, because our offense is incredibly dangerous. 2nd ranked pass offense. Going against their 15th ranked pass defense, they're going to want to keep us off the field. They're going to run the ball and even pop it up. Stop the run. Here it is. Stop the run. Number 2 thing that the Miami Dolphins have to do if they want to beat this Cleveland Browns team, you have to get after Jacoby Brissett. Like I said, we had Jacoby Brissett on the team last year. He does not really do well with pressure in his face. He takes about a quick step or 2, or a tick or 2, or a second or 2, however you want to think about it, to get that ball out, to throw to receivers. I've seen it. I've seen Jalen Waddle be open, and then he kind of takes a second, and then Jalen Waddle has to come downfield, and then he throws him the ball. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips were seconds away multiple times from sacking Justin Fields. Like, to the point where Justin Fields and the Bears offense were throwing quick, short passes to equate for the amount of pressure that Phillips and Chubb were getting on him. Their left tackle isn't great, and Conklin might not play. So if that's the case, we can get pressure off the edge, and if we can force Brissett to make stupid plays and force turnovers, it'll be huge, especially to give the Dolphins offense more chances to score and take the lead. So we have to get after Jacoby Brissett. The number 3 thing the Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this Cleveland Browns team, and I kind of pointed at it when I talked about Amari Cooper, we need elite Xavier Howard back. Now, Sam Madison came out and said that Xavier Howard is 100%. So this is what Sam Madison said about Xavier Howard. He says, now that I think he's comfortable, he practiced very well the last couple of weeks. He's just got to get his confidence back. Knowing that he's healthy and that whoever he's covering, he's just got to go out there and dominate, just like he's been able to do over the last couple of years. So Xavier Howard is healthy. I know a lot of people are saying that he's not healthy, get off his back, this, and that. He's not 100%. Sam Madison is coming out and saying he's healthy. He's just got to get his confidence back. And that's where we need the elite Xavier Howard to pop his head out. Because the last time Xavier Howard faced Amari Cooper, he got bullied. And we need him more than ever against Amari Cooper, who's a very good wide receiver. Again, especially because hopefully after the bye, we get Byron back, right? That'd just be a huge addition for the Dolphins if we can get Byron back. So we need elite Xavier Howard. We need the Xavier Howard who's going to pick it off, who's going to force the fumbles, who's going to be that ball hawk that we've had that constantly is around turnovers. We need elite Xavier Howard. Number 4 thing the Dolphins need to do, you're facing the 22nd run defense. Jeff Wilson was crazy good last week, running through people. He's very tough. He gets yards after contact. He's very good at catching the ball out of the backfield. Got to run the ball. I want to see at least one of these guys have 100 yards. If we can get both have 100 yards, that'd be fantastic. But Jeff Wilson, this guy, he's going to be good. He's going to be really good for us. We need to run the ball, especially against this run defense. Every time we face the bad run defense, we tend to not run the ball. I understand that we're second in the pass, and we have a very good passing style with Hill, with Waddle, and then Hill and Waddle double covered. You throw it to Sherfield. You throw it to Cedric Wilson Jr. We're getting Craycraft back. So we need to run the ball, and I want to see Jeff Wilson get a lot of carries and have him run people over. So run the ball. The last and final thing the Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this Cleveland Browns team, no mistakes. I haven't said this one in a hot minute, but penalties. This equates anything. Penalties, turnovers, dumb throws on the ground, fumbles, whatever you want to think of, missed field goals, stupid time management, bad play calling. No mistakes. We need a clean game here. Again, this is pivotal, a big game going into the bye. I'd love to be 7-3 going into the bye. I kind of thought they would be around there. I predicted about 3 losses here or there, so I absolutely would love 7-3 going into the bye. So they need to play smart football, no mistakes here, and just win the flipping game. That being said, here's my thoughts on this game. This is going to be a hard game. I don't care what the Cleveland Browns record is. The Cleveland Browns have talent on that team. Jacoby Brissett is good enough to get the win for them. Even though he did not win a game for the Miami Dolphins. No, he beat the Texans. But he won one game for the Miami Dolphins. But even though he struggled most of the time, he is capable enough to win the game. The Dolphins are home. The Dolphins play different at home. The Dolphin defense plays different at home. I'm predicting the Dolphins to win this game, but I do think it's going to be a close game, and I do think it's going to be a little bit of a high-scoring game. I have the Dolphins winning 28-24. Dolphins are going to score points. The Browns defense does scare me, especially with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. That's where I'm scared the most. Can the offensive line stop these two guys off the edge? If they can, then the Dolphins should prosper. But how you stop them is you run up the middle, right? Then you force them to, equate for the run, then you start getting everything else ready. So that's why running the ball is very, very important. But again, I can't say it enough how important this game is. Because after the bye, you got the Texans, and then you have a hard stretch. Heading to San Fran, heading to LA, heading to Buffalo. Got to win this game, guys. Got to win this game. You got to play tough, disciplined football. You're home. Win this game. Score the points. Last time they played home, they didn't score many points. I'm like, where was that? It was the Sunday night game against the Steelers. Come on. Pull it together. You got Crossan out there. You got Caterco out there. You got X. We need elite X out there. You got to stop the run. You just play sound football. Let's get this W going into the bye. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got a special video planned for you guys tomorrow where I'm going to react to the top 10 plays into the midseason the Miami Dolphins put out. It's going to be fun. And then I'll see you guys Monday, 1 o'clock. Miami Dolphins taking on the Cleveland Browns. Hopefully we can get this W. But on that, like usual, stay classy. Offense out.